On the inside, excuse me, that's Kane.
Oh,
big trouble.
But they wrecked. Did they not wreck?
No, they're wrecking. Suarez to the inside along with Newman. Cars piling up to the outside and all the way across the track.
Was that?
They're still wrecking.
Oh, McMurray's involved. It almost looked like the rear bumper of possibly Chase Elliott had got turned into somebody. But
Ty Dillon
straight.
What a mess. Good grief. 24 in front of him.
Oh, he tries to go to the inside, make it 3 wide.
Yeah.
Gets to the left rear bumper of the 24 of Chase Elliott, turns him down into, I think that's Michael McDowell, and that just starts a chain reaction. Boy, McMurray's just super aggressive. I don't think those Hendrick teammates are going to be real happy with him.
Wow.
Oh, goodness.
McMurray into the back of, Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
So
McMurray's going to try to go 3 wide, and there isn't any room.
Guys, one of the things that happens when you're pushing somebody, you're in control of their car. And what that does is create an opportunity for you to jump inside or outside of them. And it works sometimes, but man, is it risky. You never know if you're going to be able to get inside or if they're going to block you. And that's exactly what happened. He kind of got Chase a little bit out of shape. He went to go inside there, and Chase, I don't think he had anything he could do. It just almost turned him.
Well, when the
cars come shooting across to the inside of the track, watch this 31 of Newman do a whole lot of agricultural racing right here. Wow.
To the list of our drivers that hadn't won yet this year.
Man, that car hit hard right there, guys.
Casey Kane pushed the cement barrier back several feet. That left-hander just past the start-finish line.
He and someone made
contact. He's going to the outside, trying to make a pass.
Let's see what happens
McDowell,
right
maybe. I think he just got out in the debris.
Yeah, he just got dirt. He just got out in the loose stuff and just went straight in the fence. And boy, it pushed that wall back.
And not making mistakes as we see some cars making their way to pit road now.
Oh, there you go. There's a
big
wreck.
roof, and there's a problem. Jimmy McMurray gets hit. Earnhardt gets into him. McMurray's going to get hit again.
We see that so many times at Talladega. Jamie McMurray trying to slow down.
He's in the second lane, way up on the racetrack, and the 77, I think, has no idea the one is pitting or just can't tell. And he hits him reasonably close to full speed, Jeff.
Also the 15, we see Mark Thompson got into that as well. Chris Buescher in the huge opportunity for some drivers out here. Suarez is going to go around. He got tagged from the back. Right in front, hard contact.
Hold it up there, hold up there. Yellow's out. Be ready, guys. Run.
An attempt to make it 3 wide. Chase Elliott tries to make it 3 wide, and the 42 came up a little bit. The 19 came down a little bit. Another big wreck. But the hole's there. So Chase Elliott, he's doing. Why not make that move? It's there, and then it just closed up.
Well, this is what we talk about. How aggressive do you want to be? If you're not going to go for that hole, then you're not going to.
And look at that Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. Daniel Suarez in the 19 was involved as well. How did it happen?
Oh. Well, I'm not clear. It's not clear to me if Casey thought he was clear and was trying to go up the racetrack to get in front of the 19, or if
still pretty far back in the corner. I'm not sure if he was steering it up or if he was chasing the car up. This would be a good view on board with Daniel Suarez. You hear Daniel out of the gas. He knows the 5 is coming up, and he knows the 5 isn't clear. He tries to lift out of the gas, but it's too late, and the 5 comes across his nose.
I think the 5 got free. I think the 5 got loose underneath him and just lost control of his car.
Oh, turn 1. There went the tire.
Oh, no.
Car 1, I mean.
That's not a risk that was worth taking.
Oh, no, the 7.
Jamie McMurray's car is killed.
Jeff, I mean, this is just like all of a sudden that left rear goes, and I mean, you're at max speed when that tire blew out.
There's nothing he could have done other than come to pit road.
And Jamie McMurray had potentially a top 5 car today.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely. He had a great race car. And he's
Sideline, the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Look at the hands on AJ Allmendinger. Up in the air goes the 42 of Kyle Larson. Caution comes out. And an 41 of Jamie McMurray flying down pit road.
Right here, he gets down low. The 17 of Ricky Stenhouse tries to fill the upper lane. The 42 tries to block. And as you said, the 42 was destined to go airborne. The roof flaps deployed, setting the 42 back on the ground. And as that happened, the 41 of Kurt Busch crossed the tri-oval, took a hard hit. This is another great action shot right here. Watch this 42. Hits the wall, then gets pushed into the air by the 17. You see the roof flap open. The car sets back on the ground.
The 21 of Blaney, he's in the brakes, just nothing you can do. Remember, Matt Kenseth, Casey Kane, it got shuffled back. They got behind this wreck. Matt Kenseth did not get through it. Casey Kane did.
The 41 of Kurt Busch also came back across the racetrack. He hit it very hard into the safer barrier.
But obviously up, we've got a caution.
Caution on the racetrack. The 14 of Clint Boyer involved.
Hold the brake.
Also the 41 of Kurt Busch. Hard damage to the front of that car.
Got one coming outside.
Clint Boyer comes off the corner, gets loose. Eric Jones is underneath him. Big impact. It was around the 14th position. Going back across the racetrack, right in front.
Yeah, the 41 of Kurt Busch.
Big impact.
There was a car in front of Clint that got loose.
Yes.
But that saved it. And that's what drew my attention away from Clint Boyer. But if you look right behind that car, that's where the 14 actually loses control.
Yeah, I believe it's Paul Menard that got loose. Wow.
And that was, Kurt Busch would have avoided this, but the 14 came up. Let's ride along with Kurt Busch on the helmet cam.
You see him crashing down. Crash test coming up. He's coming up. Coming in the middle. Hold the brakes there, bud, when you can.
Seen that too many times, Rick. That's
wow,
as real as it gets. Big impact. Shoots Boyer back across the racetrack.
Fortunately, to miss the end of it. But there it is.
Hard into the wall. The 41 of Kurt Busch. He'll collect the rest of the field.
The 18's in it. The 48's in it.
The 88 is in it. Just on the front edge. He starts to roll now on the apron. The 32 of Matt DiBenedetto. The 4 of Harvick.
20 of Matt Kenseth. In the race, you see right there the 78 trying to get on the outside.
And this is what we talked about all week. Why do the playoff drivers fear Talladega? Because of this. Every one of these drivers, the 18 of Kyle Busch, the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse-Schuster, the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, you see heavy contact there as well. 4 of Kevin Harvick. They have to be in the middle of this pack. They have to fight for the points. That's why those stages are so important. Think about the points that were gained by Keselowski, Blaney, even Johnson. He got 10 points in over the stages. That's going to take a little to stay away.
Trouble. There's oil everywhere. I think there's oil from the 33. Man, it took out some good cars.
Brad Keselowski's car is destroyed.
Chase Elliott.
And Chase Elliott. What started out to be a routine caution for fluid on the track.
Now the wreck's already happened. Oh no,
gosh.
something happened to Chase Elliott.
He may have blown up. There was huge fire underneath the hood of that car.
I think the oil may have come from the 24, or certainly we know that there was fire and fluid underneath the 24.
Wow, I'm not sure what happened. Look at all the fire. Look under here.
Oh man,
that thing grenaded.
Boy.
Unbelievable.
Brad Keselowski will tell you nowhere to go.
Yeah, he switched lanes and I had somebody underneath me. Car and he came right in front of us, man. Sorry guys, something broke. I'm gonna go find out. Switch lanes, I was stuck.
Hamlin got, oh man, Hamlin
18's
lost
gonna
a
get
bunch
by.
of time right there.
Spin.
Around goes Kenseth.
Got a spin behind you.
Hard hit with the right front for Matt Kenseth.
Ow.
Or left front, rather. Gosh.
They were just, I think that once again.
I am okay, but I wouldn't say I'm as okay as I was last week.
They make contact. Yeah, a little bit of contact between Mark Truex Jr. and the 20 of Kenseth.
Boy, I tell you, and that's a hard lick right there for Matt Kenseth.
Really hard impact right here. You can see how this wall sticks out.
But man, it's
That's
a lot
where the
better than it
safety
used to be.
vehicles are at, but thankfully there's a safer barrier there. It won't matter.
Wow.
Jimmy Johnson slams the wall in Pocono.
Oh my.
Brake fail. Swabs.
Running 7th. Johnson with a brake problem, and Jamie McMurray has destroyed the right side of his car.
Yeah, you
Whose
heard
brakes
that.
fail? Was
I
it
think
Jimmy
I talked- I
Johnson
think
or was it
Jimmy
Jamie
Johnson.
McMurray?
I don't know, but I don't know. That's a hard hit, boys, I tell you.
They were running 7th and 9th, and it's crash and burn for Jamie McMurray's car. Jimmy Johnson takes a seat. And now fire at the rear of McMurray's car as well as the right front.
I think he knew to bail out of that thing because he got out there and ran away from
Yeah, right there.
You see that smoke, yeah. Actually, the right rear. It looked like fire in the right rear.
It did look like a failure in the right rear. He turns left trying to get away from that wall. Heavy impact, the right side. That'll take the wind out of you. Now, what happened here is what we've got to figure out. How did Jamie McMurray get involved?
I don't know how much brake fluid would have come out of that 48 car, but it could be that Jamie Mack hit something from the 48 car.
Or were there any parts or pieces that flew off the 48 car?
That is
Hard. That's a wicked hit.
Remember, we're talking 200 mile an hour down into that corner.
When Johnson's car was going sideways, inside the right rear wheel was glowing bright red. You don't often see that on the rear brake.
No, there was some fire coming out. I think McMurray ran over something.
And that may have been brake fluid that caught on fire of those hot parts on the right rear that we saw was turning red.
All right, we have some audio from Jimmy Johnson's car.
Man, you sure you're all right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Whew, I got away with one there.
And from Jamie McMurray.
Brake pedal's getting pretty long again. Got the head fan on the whole time. You're all right. You must have oiled it up or something. Actually, my brake pedal went to the ground.
Oh, man.
Gosh, they both sound like McMurray had trouble with his brakes.
And, guys, when you talk about the right rear, remember what I said earlier. It's always a concern. The weak link is melting that O-ring, and when you do that, all the brake fluid just runs out of the caliper.
And the 24, and around goes the 77 of Jones, almost up over the wall as they hit hard. The 20 of Kenseth involved, as is the 1 of McMurray. A big wreck coming out of turn 2.
Inside, watch your inside. All right, we're rolling, guys. 4 flat.
And now the red is being displayed as the cars are stopped in turn 2.
You see them coming off turn 2, and Eric Jones' car gets loose, puts a little bit too much wheel back to the right, and basically head on into the wall, and then major impact behind, got him up in the air.
I think that was Daniel Suarez, perhaps, that made the first impact. It looked like the 19 car, that orange and white car.
But as we mentioned, the 20 involved, the 1 of Jamie McMurray, both involved in the playoffs, part of the round of 12.
There's the big hit right there for the 20 car. You see Jimmy Johnson, the left-hand side of the screen, sliding through.
Man, it's very good to see Eric Jones get out. That was a big, when those turn back to the right, look at this at real speed. Look how big this impact is right here.
Here we go.
Oh, upside,
Side
on
down.
the side.
Well, AJ, that was a humdinger.
Yes, it was, and that's there he is upside down, and I hope he's all right. I see him moving around in there, and he just gets over to the left-hand side here, and you can't push over there.
He even got him himself. He was, it was not something that was intentional. He was just trying to push and help, but it actually even got AJ Allmendinger turned around as also.
Wow, look at
big
Danica.
impact by Danica into that
a
inside wall.
Heck of a lick.
Didn't that happen to her at Daytona where she got into the inside wall and hit hard where a wall jutted out like that?
Now, see, I think Chase Elliott was he already had his hands full prior to that. He was trying to get it gathered up, and then AJ came off his rear bumper and then made contact with him again. Also, Logano went for a heck of a ride there, a couple big impacts.
Keselowski's up in there.
Minor damage.
Getting crowded up there in the front right now with the 42. Oh,
Whoa!
trouble. Big
Crash. Danica Patrick and Joey Logano.
Oh, man.
And Eric Almirola.
Holy smoly.
Oh, heavy damage there on Danica.
Those cars are killed.
And Almirola piling in at the last second and going up in the air. Patrick
Danica's
quickly out of her car.
Oh man, it looked like the 22 just got loose.
I think that.
Oh man, what a ride that Danica went on.
Danica took a heck of a ride into the wall, and then the 43 just plowed in there.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go. I think he committed to the outside lane. Pretty big impact by the 43. As you could see, Almirola sitting in his car. He hadn't quite gotten out of the car yet.
Eric Jones right behind them, right behind Logano.
Oh, something
wow, something happened on that 22.
Something had to break.
Keep coming here. There you go.
22 violently turned left right into Danica.
Top is good.
Oh, right
front. Yeah, I saw it blow the fender up.
I think that was a brake rotor.
Are you thinking what?
Yeah, and that's why it turned left. I think that disintegrated the right front brake rotor. Right as he went to the brakes, you saw it come through the hood, and what'd that do? It just turned the car to the left because all it had was left front brake.
It turned it dead left, I know that.
Patrick went for a wild ride and then got pounded again by Almirola.